What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and you just saw the public debut of our brand new bumper. And I want to thank Kristen Hoffman for that amazing song and for her voiceover that we saw. And I want to thank Dr. and Mrs. Future. They are with us from Virtual World Studios for doing an amazing job of making our video. And welcome, everybody. And welcome to everybody watching Facebook and YouTube. Especially, it's Alan Steinfeld's birthday, and we're always on his YouTube channel. We'll celebrate Alan a little bit later tonight, and he'll be with us all next week. If you are watching us on Facebook, and hundreds or thousands of you are, come on into our Zoom room. We've got a really wonderful Global Peace Tribe community. And because of the nature of tonight's show, the topic, and the amazing guests that we have, you're going to want to come on into the Zoom room where you can chat more easily, and we're going to have questions and answers. Yep. The theme is divine love, miracles, and the connection. And we have with us the TwinRay. There they are, coming to us from their incredible home temple. And they are going to be not only presenting and leading a meditation, but taking questions and answers towards the end of the show. So anybody watching on Facebook, you're going to want to come on into our Zoom room, and it's easy to do that. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, and register. It takes about a minute. And yes, then we get your email address, and all sorts of wonderful things happen. You then get a replay on Monday of the show. You also get access to previous shows, and you also now are going to be able to get the Zoom links for all 3 shows that we do each weekend. We do a show every Friday night, this one on Saturday night, and one on Sunday morning. So come and join us. The Global Peace Tribe is growing, and you are an important part of it. So welcome. Speaking of welcome, I am so grateful that I get to be co-hosting this weekend with Eden Amadora. She is a beautiful embodiment of the divine feminine. In fact, in the early show, I was saying that I'm blessed. I know so many incredible people, but the 2 women I know that most carry the divine feminine in a beautiful, balanced way are ShekinahMa and beautiful Eden Amadora. And she does wonderful, wonderful work, mostly with women, with her priestess circle. She is an ordained priestess of the 13 Moon Circle. So she's been co-hosting with me all weekend, and it's great to have you with us. Thank you so much, Eden.
So good to be here. Such an honor to be here with the TwinRay too.
Absolutely. Well, and speaking of the TwinRay, there they are. I'm going to put them back on again. And every time I'm in their presence, whether it's, even when I receive a text from them, it's like, The Twin Ray. And I've said it to them, I'll say it to the world. I probably have said it publicly. When I grow up, I want to be a Twin Ray. And what I mean by that, and Eden and I have talked about this, is I've had the pleasure of spending a week with them in their home. And you know, when you're in a home with somebody, you see how they really are, right? Like, okay, how they all. They're always like this. They are always generous. They're always kind. They're always loving. And even when we've had to work on things that were challenging, where there was a difficulty, they're always just so loving about it. So may we all drop into the vibration of their consciousness, and really looking forward to all that you have to share with us. Thank you. As always, we have amazing music tonight, and we've got with us Jaffe is going to be playing music with us. Hey, Josh, welcome aboard.
Scott, great to hear from you.
Yeah, and Josh and his partner Johanna, who I'm waiting for her to turn on her camera, have put together a very special song, a song inspired by a conversation I had with Twin Ray. So we're really looking forward to what you and Johanna have created, and hopefully Johanna will be joining us soon. And here is Omashar making his Global Peace Tribe debut with us. So we're looking forward to that.
Hi there. Aloha.
It's going to be great having you with us. And we have Jay and Jan are going to be doing a very powerful after show. Jay doesn't have his camera on, but I'm going to put the camera on the lovely and talented and resourceful and ever patient Jan Kaplan, one of the senior producers for Global Peace Tribe. And so she can represent the after show that's going to take place later on tonight. So thank you. Welcome. For tonight, we're going to start off with the Twin Ray. So I'm going to put the spotlight on both of you for a moment to lead us in a meditation. And did you decide, are we going to start with your video, or are we going to play that after your meditation?
Did you get the link?
Yes, I actually took my video, played it for a group of people, and they said it played great. So when the time is right and we're ready, I will be playing it.
Okay, lovely. Whatever you like. What would you like to do?
Very flexible. We can do it either after the meditation, or we can do it the next segment is also perfect. We're so flexible, as you know, Scott.
Or well, why don't we do this? Go ahead and Shekinah, and tell us a little bit, because this is called Shekinah's Miracle Prayer. Mm-hmm. And so kind of in the spirit of our theme tonight, the divine, connecting to the divine love, miracles. Mm-hmm. Love to have you share with us what that means to you and how this video evolved.
Thank you, beloved. I'm happy to do so. And I know I've shared this already a couple of times, and we're going to share it again, because stories, especially stories that are so unexpected and so impactful, are deserving to be shared. So this is called the Amadora, and it is a prayer. It is a prayer, a Kabbalistic, that is actually speaking about the DNA. And of course, when it was spoken and as it was meant to be, it was really a pleading from the children of Israel to the Mother, Father, God presence to help and assist with all that was happening at that time. And it was calling out for miracles. Now, Sananda can share a little bit more about the codex of that, and then I'll share about how this was recorded.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I will say hello to the beautiful community. That's everyone here. It's beautiful to be with you all. We see only your screen, beloved Scott, so that might be perfect and orchestrated like that, but I just wanted to let you know that we only see your screen, and that's also just one thing that you might want to.
You are spotlighted, and I've got
okay, beautiful.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, so the Amadora is from the Jewish mysticism, and it's about the secret 42 names of God. there's 7 words in 6 lines of the Amadora. And if you take the first letter of each word, what you find is that there's a decoding of the 42 names of God. And when it's been spoken before, this can induce that miracle state, that state where personal revelations meet universal revelations. And so the story is quite unique because this is a prayer that hasn't been sung. And we have sung it, well, Shekinah, of course, her gorgeous voice has shared this, what was Saturday Night Alive. And so it may be something that beloveds have heard before, but the story and the transmission behind it is also very, very essential because it was taken by surprise, but at a very certain point of an astrological alignment, which was the trends, the conjunction and the alignment of Saturn and Jupiter on the twist. That was a very significant time for the collective to really experience that announcement of the Aquarian age, because it took place in Aquarius, and everyone that knows anything about astrology or really is attuned to the Aquarian age that has been coming in waves since the 70s and the late 60s. There has been a significant movement of that, but right now we're in that collective experience as we're all in this journey of great awakening for the human species. So it was really a sacred message, a sacred prayer, a sacred song, and a offering to the world.
It was, and it was early in the morning, about 3 o'clock in the morning, when I stood right there in the center of the node, and you can see the rose quartz pillar. And what's important to know about this is a vortex, essentially, into the collective communication. This is a communication station.
Yeah, maybe we share a little bit about
what a node means.
Yeah, just for anyone that's not familiar with the term a node. We love geobiology, and that's a study of ley lines, the song lines of the earth, how beloved Gaia communicates her energy to all the aspects of her sacred lands all around the globe. Just like we have a nervous system, an endocrine system, chakra system, biocircuitry system, of course the body of earth does as well, and so does the body of the universe. We have traveled extensively, over 10, 15 years, going all around the world to these sacred places and meeting different First Nation elders and connecting with certain power spots. And we had been doing repair work with the grids, and all of that work ended up us coming here. And this is another story in altogether, but to be here in the temple and right in the center is a nodal point. And so the visualization here is like a double vortex toroidal field, just like everyone has seen that imagery of the heart's torus. Well, there's these toruses that at certain times, throughout certain alignments, at certain points in the year, creates these toroidal fields that create a conduced energy of cosmic energy that distributes through the earth grids. So this was a very powerful time when this was happening. And the node in the center that we put a big rose quartz pillar there was very much in full power. And this is when you were transmitting the sacred prayer.
So I was here by myself, and I had placed my phone down, and I just started to sing. I was singing the voice of the mother to the children, receiving the prayers and sending them right back, sending the miracles consistently. And I was even moved. There's a moment, you'll probably hear it, but I even have tears running down my face during this moment, because the prayers are so significant, and because the suffering is so great right now. And it also connected into when this was written and what was happening at that time. And so this is a transmission. And the miracle here is that the phone just started recording this transmission all on its own. And then when I went back to it after the practice was complete, a couple hours later, there was this long recording of this transmission. And I remember I said, this is a transmission now that needs to be given. Now, this isn't a produced song or video or anything. It's just my singing a cappella in the center, transmitting from my pure heart to the pure heart of the world. And that's what it is.
All right, I'm pulling it up.
Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua kaberina tamcha sabenu darenu noa Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Nagibor do shahe yichudecha kavevat shamurem Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Bachem tachalem rachame zirkateka tamid gamlem Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Asin kadosh burov tufka naeladatecha Ana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Yachid gelamcha penesocha kadushatecha Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Shaveinu kabel ushma sarkateinu yodeat alumo Hana bekoke julat yaminecha tati tehua Baruch Hashem kavod malchuto leolam ba'ed. Amen.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
With the vibration of your voice, so is you, you know. And whenever I listen to that video, and I play it for myself sometimes, it brings great comfort. It brings very, very great comfort. And I'd love to just go straight into, if you'd like to, as we're in this beautiful vibration, lead a short meditation for us, please.
Take a moment and just turn your eyes inwardly into your heart, to the center of your heart. Beautiful expression of the divine that's living and beating inside you. And take a breath into the center of that heart, and as you exhale, just relax your body, Just relaxing in to this moment, letting all of the week just fall away, all of the day just drop to the wayside. And all that remains is the presence of your pure, beating heart. And just take a moment to contemplate and to feel this statement, this sharing, that you are the miracle of divine love. You, in this moment, in this life, you are the miracle of divine love.
For it were not for divine love, you would not be here. You are the very miracle that divine love made in manifest form.
Letting go of all thoughts about your personal experience, your story, your person. Just let that all go as well and just be present. That one truth, that you are the miracle, divine love. Your very existence, the very front of this experience of your life is the miracle. And that awareness, that pure awareness, that moment before the thought arises, but that pure witness, that is the very source of love. Just allow yourself to be present in that purity that you are. No matter what the mind thinks, no matter what the mind may project or judge throughout its time, turning your mind and your awareness inwardly to your heart, the true nature and the spark of divinity that allows you this very precious gift, the incarnation, this very breath of spirits that sustains you in this moment. Contemplate that and allow that contemplation to open up more inside you throughout this show, throughout tonight. Allow that contemplation that you are divine love manifested, that your life is only possible because of divine love. And you are that miracle of divine love. And as you feel that, as you go deeper with that, allow yourself to acknowledge where you may not express that, where you may not choose to live that, and the powerful divine will that's been given to all humans. That free will is to choose love. And then you realize it's never a choice.
With every breath you take, you have the opportunity to choose love. You have the opportunity to open yourself right now 100% to the beauty and the bounty of divine love. For divine love, in its presence and in its witness, glorifies every particle of you. It upholds, uplifts, and gives in great cherishing love. An expression that is so deep within the makeup and the very fabric of your soul's essence. Divine love is what you are made of, and the miracles do not exist outside of you. They exist deep within the core of your heart. They open with the doors and the gateways by the purity of your righteous actions, your thoughts, your deeds, your virtues. Contemplate, do you allow divine love to truly envelop your essence? And do you choose to drop and dissolve everything that could disallow that experience? In this meditation, we invite you to choose with great vehemence and great conviction inside of you that you choose now to open, no matter what you've done, no matter what has been done to you, to that presence of divine love. For it shall never judge you. It shall never do anything but give and share the love of creation that you already are.
And the capacity for you to feel divine love, the depths of your being, how deep you feel love perfectly is exemplified by how much compassion you can give. The greater compassion that you can give to this world and to others and have for all of creation is the greater capacity to feel that love of truth that you are. And the beautiful thing with love, true, divine, perfect love, when you taste it, when you experience it, and you taste from the fountain of the true self, the supreme real and supreme reality. When you taste that, nothing else will ever do. And so we ask each one of you do you wish to taste the nectar of the miracle of your true nature? Do you wish to taste the miracle of divinity itself? Do you wish to drink from the fountain of God's grace? And if you wish that, all you need to do is surrender, surrender, and surrender.
And surrender some more.
And when you do, you'll be caught in the ocean of eternal bliss, eternal love. So may you feel that, and may you never forget that, and may you never forget who you truly are, what you truly are, and to show up from that knowing, because to know God is to love God, and to love God is to know God. And when you choose love over everything else, you take refuge in the presence of the Almighty. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
It's hard to function right now. Honestly. It's like, okay. I just hope everybody said a big yes to that beautiful invitation. What a beautiful, beautiful invitation to surrender. I'm gonna I'm gonna edit just that meditation and post it because it's something I know that I want to listen to it over and over, and I want to make it available to our Global Peace Tribe. So thank you for that. The Twin Ray are going to be with us throughout the night, many, many more times, including just in a few minutes when we go into our prayer sequence. But I want to put the attention for a moment, and thank you again. I'm having trouble putting words out, so bear with me, everybody. I want to put the attention on Eden, my co-host, and I'm so grateful to be working with her. And as you all felt in that meditation, the way that the Twin Ray manage themselves, I experience the same with you, Eden. The way you speak, even when you're talking about minutiae of life, there's always a grace. And we did talk a little bit about that it hasn't always been easy for you. Your life has, like all of our lives, you've had a unique journey. And so, now in present time, she's this, wonderful teacher, and so many women learn from her and grow from her. And she has an amazing balanced life. She has a 16-year-old son, and she has an older daughter. She's a voice and embodiment coach and a singer and a prayer performance artist, and she does all these amazing things. She has a very well-balanced life. But her journey has been unique, and I'd love for you to just kind of share a little bit about your journey that's led you into who you are today and the miracle of it all.
Wow. I'm also finding it challenging to want to speak much or even dare to speak about myself after that incredible transmission prayer. Thank you again from the depths of my heart, brother and sister. Wow. That brings me into the highest vibration and just lit from within. So much beauty in that inner temple experience, just so much light. And I'm so grateful. So, wow, I guess I feel like quite a world bridger. And I'll say this about my journey, that I came in remembering that I came from the light of source, the infinite source. And my name was Sunshine as a little hippie child. And I was full of joy in the garden. Of course, my name Eden in the garden. My dad was this avid gardener and a carpenter, and had a simple, good beginning. My mom introduced me to yoga as a young person and these incredible books. And I had this sense there's so much more to life than just this, what do you do for a living? And, our identities that we think we are. And then, like many of us who are so innocent and open and beautiful as children, I got swept into identity as a teen when I was scouted to become a model at 15. And I went from a kind of just very hippie kid, early beginning, to then being in rooms full of people staring at me with bright lights and being kind of pedestalized for physical beauty. And all this attention on a very young person. I would like to say, oh, it didn't affect me, I was so pure. And that is not true. I think there was a part of me that was very attracted to glamour, that wanted to know, that was fascinated by riches and glamour. And even though I still read spiritual books and chanted and did yoga and meditated, I was off into the glamour world, where I, after many years of international modeling, married a very wealthy Italian playboy, and it was partying and jet set lifestyle for me. And towards the end of that time of my life, I was very split. There was this very big gap around 28 years old at my Saturn return. I had what I now understand to be a Kundalini awakening. And it happened in such a dramatic way. I was still practicing Kriya Yoga, Hatha Yoga, and meditating, but then in a breakup of a very unhappy, unhealthy relationship. And I found myself It looked to others like I was dosed with mega hits of acid. It was like hallucinating and burning up for 3 days, actually 3 nights and 4 days of no sleep, no eating, and not even drinking water. There wasn't a thought, I don't want to live because I'm so unhappy. There was just this heat and energy and a part of me that didn't want to play the game anymore, didn't want to be in the glamour world anymore, didn't want to keep up the pretense. And that split happened. I had gotten a record deal. It was a time where I had a small child and I wanted nothing. I didn't want material things. I had no sense of attachment in that state of being, which is a very beautiful thing and very disturbing at the same time for all the beings around me. So that dark night of the soul catapulted me back into a very simple life, a simpler life where it was, again, just daily practices. And what can I actually do here that isn't about just me shaking my little tushy on MTV or being on the cover of a magazine? By all worldly standards, it looked like I'd kind of won the game. And then I lost that center and that peace and that part of me that had been so aligned and so pure, and it had to come back together. So I talk about that Saturn return, that Kundalini crisis or spiritual emergency, like the goddess Kali kind of got me right back into my center again after being very, very split. And the miracle now is that more than worldly accolades or material things, the joy that I find in life is in witnessing the beauty and the awakening of others, remembering who they truly are. That divine love that SanandaJi and ShekinahMa spoke of in their meditation. In my work as a divine feminine mystery school teacher, I get to hold highly coherent spaces for beings to remember the preciousness of their innocent heart again and again. And it took me going down to the bottom of the well and coming back up with that remembrance for myself, and so much self-forgiveness, so much self-compassion to come back to center. And that's the miracle that I walk with now. It's like I've kind of played the full spectrum and I know now what's real. So thank you for hearing my story. I hope that that was the story you had hoped I shared tonight, Scott. There's so many to tell.
Yes, that was. And I think, where it comes from is that, we look at you and we see this incredibly beautiful woman who seemingly has it all. And it's important to remember that everybody's got a journey. And as I've gotten to know you, and I was born and raised in Los Angeles, I was in the entertainment industry, I was very glamour driven. I always wanted to do educational television, so I was, always kind of wanting to make the world a better place because I was born on Christmas Day with a Messiah complex. But I know what it's like being in a world that's very driven by competition and glamour. And I fell into that to a fair degree when I was growing up. And knowing the level you were at and that you left it all and have chosen this life that you're leading. And one of the things that I really respect about you and about the TwinRay is your humility. I find that all three of you are very humble and always in this state of gratitude, always in this state of generosity. And that's as we're talking tonight about divine love and miracles, and that's why I, chose this topic and kind of put it together with the three of you, because you all really do embody living in a state of gratitude. And that is where the miracles come from. So it's kind of the message of the show tonight.
I love that, Scott. I just wanted to say one thing about humility that really touched me, because I'm a yogic embodiment person. I like to think of the body as a reflection of consciousness, and often we see this position of humility as a really bowing down below or beneath, and the mistaking that we're less than in a way when we're humble. And I I saw this image of someone arching back and their heart completely cracked open to the divine, like rays of love just coming in from the above. And it's that surrender that the TwinRay spoke of. And I think of that as an absolute humble opening to this greater love. And it's not about putting ourselves below anyone or anything else. It's about that availability and that heart opening that really guides us.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, that's a perfect segue. I'm going to bring the TwinRay back on for a moment. We are going to launch into prayer, and we're going to launch into our wisdom jewels for the week. And, here we were just talking about humility. And if any of you aren't aware, Thich Nhat Hanh left his body at age 95. And we showed, during the early show, we showed a beautiful video of him talking about what love truly is. And so I want to thank Jay and Jan for putting together tonight's Wisdom Jewels. And we're going to watch the Wisdom Jewels. They're dedicated to Thich Nhat Hanh. And then from that, we're going to go into a prayer circle. And usually we have a fundraising recipient, and there is no one fundraising recipient tonight. So we're going to create a prayer circle, and everybody is invited to put into the chat box who you want us to hold in prayer. So we're kind of entering this as a new part of the awakening world. And so we'll start by going to the video of tonight's Wisdom Jewels.
Beautiful wisdom jewels.
Yeah.
Beautiful quotes.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jan, for creating that. And Jay and Jan are going to be leading a beautiful after show tonight. And so for TwinRay, I'd love to just invite you, if you wish, to say whatever you wish to say to bring us into a prayer space. And for everybody watching at home, take this time, and as we create this great global peace tribe circle, anybody we put into the circle, maximum grace, for those who put it into the circle, and of course for those that care to put it into the chat box. And I'm going to turn it over to the Twin Ray.
So maybe just bringing your hands in preposition, even if there's no one that comes to mind right now for this sacred prayer circle. Placing your hands on your heart or whatever really feels natural for you. And in this moment, as we call in all the heavenly forces, we call in the great presence of the most and all-loving one that is the one in all. May this container be sanctified and purified in the highest love with the maximum grace. May you visualize in this moment, utilizing this moment as an act of selfless service to your brothers and sisters, to the world, to a dear one, to a stranger, to a neighbor, to all that are placed in this miracle matrix, this container of sacred prayer.
And as we begin this transmission of sacred prayer, we send this out with the intention that it be received all over the world, known or unknown, conscious or unconscious, deep within the fabric of the earth and high into the heavens and all the realms in between. Beloved ones who suffer, we hear your prayers. Beloved hearts and souls who have come here and don't quite know your way yet, we hear your prayers. Beloved ones who we feel the heaviness of this world, we hear your prayers. And at this very moment, all of us together, we take that heaviness and we lift it. We lift it and raise it up and send it off, relinquishing and releasing and dissolving the heaviness that you no longer need to carry through lifetimes and generations. The suffering has continued, and in this moment of time, the entire heavenly guard and all angelic presences of light, past, present, and eternal, shall assist in this prayerful intention. Know now in your heart of hearts, the depth of your hearts, that this intention is being broadcast not only through the earth, but all over the universe and beyond. If you are one who is calling for prayer, for healing, for the amelioration of your suffering, allow yourself in this very moment to receive this healing that is being transmitted right now.
May we all just visualize the earth being blanketed in light. New life being restored, hope being restored, faith being restored, miracles being made manifest. May we all visualize the true ascended earth in her full glory, in the cornucopia of her beauty, bountiful, where there is plenty for all, and all suffering is taken in and transmuted into flowers, into rainbows, into magic. And do know that the suffering of the earth is always received by the transmutation into light. And any time and any moment, whether a soul is incarnating or is exiting, there is grace always offered. You must just call that forth. That is your free will to call that divine intervention. And we call in the highest grace and the highest divine intervention as we link our wings and our arms of light together, as we encircle all of humanity to be raised to a whole new threshold of awakening, to peel back the layers of ignorance and reveal the brilliance of truth eternal, of love supreme. And may the all-loving one be seen and felt by all that are within this circle, and all that are within this circle is all of humanity and all that needs support. For love knows no bounds.
Support is given. In the asking, it is given. Before it is asked, it is done. Know that. Feel that. And allow yourself to experience in the bliss of surrender, in the bliss of humility, in the presence of the all-loving one. There is nothing. There is no thing that can attach or can hold on. In the presence of the all-loving one, there is only love. There is only God, and there is only now.
So may we feel this, know this to be the truth. And may we bless this moment to ripple out through eternity, for this circle and this prayer container of light to continue to expand, to include all that choose love or forget love, for love will never forget you. Blessed, blessed be. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you. Prayers are being answered in such beautiful ways with your amazing. I'm speechless. Luckily, I get to turn it over to somebody who hopefully is not speechless, and that is the magnificent Johanna Beekman. Johanna is one of our absolute favorite musical artists, and it's a wonderful story. The song we're about to hear. I was having a conversation with the TwinRay, and we were talking about how important it is to. I was probably acknowledging them for how they do everything with love. And then we were talking about how important it is to do everything with love. And I shared that I've always had the fantasy of meeting Paul McCartney and thanking him, because like everybody, I love the Beatles, but saying, you know, Paul, there's one song that I wish you would adjust, because it's really not all you need is love. We do need more than love in this world. It's do it all with love. Do everything with love. And we talked about that. And then I said, gosh, wouldn't it be great to have that be a song? Well, I thought of Johanna, and then I said, how do you feel? You want to do it? She said, I can do it, but I'm going to need help. And so she brought on one of our other favorite musical artists. You've seen him on this show before, Jaffe. And so we are so grateful to Johanna and Joss because they have created, you're going to hear it live for the first time tonight on our show. And then they've recorded a video and we're going to add B-roll and it's going to become a mainstay of the Global Peace Tribe. So here we've got Johanna and Joss who are going to share their new version. Paul McCartney, I hope you're listening and watching.
Take it away, Johanna.
Do it all with love. Do it all with love. Love, love, love. Love is everything. Love is everything. Love is everything. Love, 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 love. Yeah, yeah. Love, 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 yeah. Sing along. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Oh, nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. There's nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Yeah. Do everything with love. Do everything with love. Do it all with love. Love. Love is everything. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. Do everything with love. Do everything with love. Do it all with love. Love. Love is everything. Love, love, love. Love is everything. Love is everything. Love is everything. Yeah, yeah.
That was really, really fun. Thank you so much. I love it. And we will make that video available for everybody. I'm hoping to have it all done by next week. Thank you guys. We're going to hear more from Johanna and Joss. They're each going to do a solo song for us, and we'll learn all about them and their programs and how to do more. So thank you, Johanna. Thank you, Joss. We'll see you all in a moment. And I'm going to turn it over to my wonderful co-host, Eden, who in turn is going to turn over to the TwinRay.
So I haven't had the great opportunity to spend in-person time yet with ShekinahMa and SanandaJi. That being said, I know a little bit about them, and what I do know is so exceptional that I just wanted to share some things with our audience that might not know you very well yet. First of all, it's not the twin rays, it's the twin ray. And you can think of this ray that's one. It's one ray that's split into two embodiments. And it is this energy that's shared in the male and female. So this in itself for me was such a beautiful aha. This is the twin ray as a divine union couple, like two full overflowing chalices, two intact light fields just forming the Vesica Pisces of balance and union. They are a living example of divine marriage. And I know from being a sensitive being who listens deeply to the vibration behind words and the resonance, Shekinah's voice that we heard, you cannot lie through the song. That is divine love embodied. This divine mother frequency that she's holding is palpable. And if you were to see the art that SanandaJi creates and channels through his heart, it's visionary, epic beauty. So I sure hope Scott shares some of your art one day too, SanandaJi, because he did share it with me, and it is just beyond beautiful. So this living embodiment of divine love, the TwinRay, is here at this time on earth for us, for our awakening, for us to see ourselves in their sacred mirror, to know ourselves as beloved and divine. It's like until the 4-minute mile was run, we didn't think it was possible. And now, as we have them here embodying this frequency, we know it is possible. And it is such a blessing. So thank you, beloveds, for being here on earth with us now. And I sure look forward to one day embracing you in the physical.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
Thank you so much, beloved Ethan.
Beautiful as you are, your words just came right through your beautiful heart. And I just wanted to share, which really nobody knows, your story. We will talk, is so paralleled to not my story, but before my death initiation. All of that, everything that you shared was very much a part of her story. So we will definitely, maybe even one time we can have a transmission together, beloved Scott. I can see your wheels spinning as I speak, but there is so much beauty in your vulnerability and in your sharing. And of course, speaking of miracles, for those who don't know, you know, what we call previous inhabitant, essentially, I went through a death initiation where the body physically died. And we're actually writing an entire book about our story and our journey. It's going to be a very, very heart-opening and very beautifully intimate telling of this journey. But before I came in, I lived very much a life, this body lived very much a life that you spoke of. And so I just want to honor you for that, because you stayed and she didn't. And she gave up her life so that I could come in fullness and serve in the ways that she would have never been able to.
Yes, we'll definitely make that miracle happen, beloved Eden. We'll get you to come to the sanctuary and we'll enjoy a physical embrace and share love and do a beautiful transmission. And this beautiful conscious transmission and broadcast that we're all a part of and we're all creating together, everyone can feel it. You know, everyone can feel the sincerity. They can feel the purity that we're all here enjoying and being a part of. And this is really a miracle in itself. Like the very front of life to bring you into this moment, wherever you are, to be in this experience is an absolute miracle. And sometimes we forget that. You know, sometimes we forget how much of a miracle life actually is. And sometimes we have the universe, you know, snap you back into your center in order for you to check yourself truly, in order to receive a greater message of grace. And it's not always easy. You know, when we speak about love, it's not always this euphoric, rapturous, blissed out, rainbow chasing narrative of experience. It sometimes takes you into the darkest places of your being. And you go into that, and you always come out of that with a sense of renewal, with a sense of, and it depends what part of the journey you're in, because sometimes it can last longer than one would like. But we want to dissolve this idea that everything to do with love and divinity is always fluffy. It is always sort of this high ideal. We want to share the divinity of love and the miracle of life. It's not so much what appears in life. It's that life can exist, that life exists. Like there is an existence, there is a supernal existence of a life that is the very foundation and the very fabric of reality that allows all things to manifest. Good, bad, beautiful, ugly, and every single thing in between. Now, this is hard to understand with the human minds. It's really hard to grok that, to really understand that.
It's not designed to.
Because it isn't, because the human instrument of the mind is very sort of linear in its expression until it surrenders into the heart, where the heart knows no bounds and sees the whole beauty in everything. And that's a miracle. And the ability for this life to be always in transition. There's a impermanence to life.
Tenuous, sacred, delicate nature.
That's a miracle. Like the fact that this day you'll never get again. The moment that you may experience that may be of hardship or maybe of glorification, that way of experience will never happen again. And the impermanence of life, what a miracle that is. The fact that you can see things fade away and anew to be restored. The fact that every aspect of life is transformed and transmuted at some stage along the journey. What a blessing, what a miracle. And that's all thanks to love. So when we express love, we express it from the very cornerstone of reality itself. It is the very fabric, the very foundation, the very existence in itself is that pure awareness, that pure consciousness, God, the divine goddess, that divinity that is the allowance for all creation to exist. That itself is love. So we share this because many may feel.
Say that again. The allowance for all creation to exist. That is love.
That is unconditional love.
I'd like for everyone to sit with that for just a moment. Just the allowance of it. Just the allowance of experience itself. That is love. That is divine love. That is the kind of love that says, go, experience, explore, make your mistakes. Because this is how you return home. And that's just as the orchestration allows. And that is love. Just that allowance alone.
And when you allow your true self to reflect that presence of love, when you allow your mind to be subdued by that divinity and the presence of your hearts, and you connect deeper into the truth of the one self, the all-loving one, and you allow that to express, what happens is also a miracle, is that everything you do becomes benevolent. Because really, the benevolence is the true nature, is the divine personage of the universe, of all that is. And that's an absolute miracle. And when you actually get absorbed into that, when you are blessed enough to experience the rapturous bliss and taste the divine nectar, the eternal salvation of that truth, and you taste that,
can't stop smiling.
You can't stop smiling, but also what happens is it doesn't end. And it's a freaking miracle. The fact that it doesn't end. Like when you are in the presence of truth, that truth, love, and bliss becomes a rapturous absorption, that somatic,
enveloping.
Yeah, words fail.
Inexplicable, undefinable, ineffable state.
Yeah, and we try to F the inevitable. We attempt to do this. We want to sing this all day long. When you are transformed by this.
Or you want to resist it.
Or you try to resist it. But this is the funny thing with love. It will humble you. Oh, it will humble you. It will bring you to your knees. And it will floor you. You know, it's so gentle, but it's so powerful. It's so powerful. And when you are in that presence, that divine presence of your true self, the persona drops away, the narrative drops away, all the pretending to be someone, you know, just dissolves. It never was true to begin with, but there's this illumination that happens. And we are in the Aquarian age, and the theme of the Aquarian age is to manifest the highest love into reality, to manifest the unconditional love, to be an embodiment of that expression. It doesn't matter if someone's got some wisdom. It doesn't matter if you read a book of wisdom. It doesn't matter if someone's got the most fanciest teachings or the most fanciest practices, or looks a certain way, or has a certain following, or impresses a certain audience. None of that matters anymore. People are piercing through the illusion of this self-bravado of the persona. And unless your message has love in it, no one wants to listen. No one cares. All that is like literally put to the wayside. And all that's really matters right now is the transmission of love. And it doesn't even matter who's speaking it. That's the joy of it. It's a faceless, and it's all faces.
And you know what's so wonderful? Because of course we talk about divine love as the miracle, but we are also extraordinarily blessed to have witnessed infinite and endless miracles.
Yes.
Really true miracles of the divine working and moving through us, and not only through us, but also just the things that we've gotten to witness. And we were going to share a couple of stories about that, because they're just so
we want to inspire what's possible.
Inspiring, and exactly open your heart and your mind.
Yeah,
all of it.
Exactly. And you know, what is a miracle? You know, so the common understanding of a miracle is a surprising and very welcomed experience that natural law can't explain, science can't explain, but is sort of summed up to a divine agency. There's a divine intervention, that something happens. You know, we wanted to share this story. This one time on our travels went to this very ancient temple that had been uncovered. It was a temple that was submerged in the earth, but
3 times.
But after 2012, a lot of temples started rising up. This was a phenomenon that not many know about, but there were certain temples that started rising, ancient temples that started rising from the earth and started coming about. Not all intact, but some were. And there was this one time where we spent a Shivaratri, which is a sacred high holy day of the night of Shiva. And Shiva, yes, is a personification of the yogi, of the divine yogi, but Shiva is actually the transforming presence and the unbounded, formless nature of divinity also. It's sort of like...
This was also the Shivaratri happens to be the anniversary of Sananda's genetic liberation.
Yeah, we can talk about that another year. But basically this time what happened was that there was this tree, this gorgeous grandmother tree, And we're all in this sort of avataric states, you know, the movie Avatar, when they're all around the tree, they're all holding each other and they're all chanting. There's this oneness, there's this unity, and there's this life force that's being rippled out through their entire being. They're becoming a conduit of the very earth itself, the very cosmos itself. It's very much like that, just to give you a graphic and a visual. And we're all in this chant, and there was quite a number of us. And what happened was the sun, because we were chanting all night long. This was like a 12-hour thing from, you know, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning, sunset to sunrise, and just in rapture, chanting, chanting, chanting. And the sun rose. And as the sun rose, all these shreds of light, these glimmers of light and rays of light would pierce through the tree and would come through the temple door and through the temple roof, and was coming through. And all of a sudden, these golden threads, these physical materialized golden threads start streaming down from this tree and into this temple. And we all started being covered in these golden threads. And when they would touch the floor, they would literally dissolve. They would just dissolve into the earth.
To touch the floor.
But if you caught them, my hair was filled with them, and it was quite a sight. And what they were was these threads of divinity. And what it did, there's ancient stories and scriptures that have been lost that spoke of this phenomenology. But basically, these are the threads of God, or the threads of the divine, the threads of light that connect all things to all things. And essentially, this golden thread, when one would hold it, it would open up their thread in their hearts to connect to God, connect to that very source of light, of the very source of love and creation itself. And so we felt called to share this experience that was witnessed by many. And it was a profound occurrence that happens through the chanting, through the vibration, the energetic field, the coherency of love, the coherency of pure devotion to the true presence of divinity. And this sacred temple was what we now know as an ancient golden age temple, where in golden ages that have come and gone in the past, there is certain temples that are now returning that have many books of wisdom that had been lost to humanity, and many sacred miracles in this form of manifestation that occur. And the list goes on. This is just one experience. There's been experiences of certain manifestations of jewels and gems and oils and medicines. And we are very blessed to actually share some of those miracles with our community as well. And some of our community members have been blessed to experience that purity of divine love made manifest.
It's the materialization of love into the physical.
Yeah, it's like
something physically tangible that came from nothing, perceivably nothing, into something.
Yeah, and we are writing a book about this. We have been for a few years. We actually have our editor staying with us right now.
We were just with our editor all day and yesterday, as well as all the other things we're doing. But,
and we'll be sharing more of this, but we wanted to elicit this inspiration of there's no limits to what love can do when you are truly absorbed in the presence of the truth of self.
And it's so beautiful in our own temple, not this particular temple, but our own temple space. Our statues produce what's known as vibhuti.
Yes, our statues with certain
normal statues,
certain mantras and certain blessings and certain ceremony and rituals done to them, they become alive. There's an aliveness to their quality. And I'm sure Scott can remember the gorgeous Amitabha Buddhas that we have, the hand carved masterpieces. And we also have, we have many beautiful statues that represent the divinity in all threads.
And all threads
of
every
life. And they come to life. Sometimes they wink at you as well. And some of our students have been taken away by some of the statues of like their There's this aliveness to them. And that substance that we spoke of, vibhuti, it's a holy ash, and it's a purification ash. And sometimes there's honey, there's amarita, there's oils that are healing qualities. And
They just appear.
yeah, the list goes on. But we just wanted to share a little bit of our life with you, a little bit of our life and the magic and the mystery that, we experience.
I'm going to come in and ask you to share another part of your life, which is the programs that you offer.
Of course.
And because they are, again, so generous in the programs that they offer. And tonight we're going to learn about two programs. A little bit later we'll learn about their mentorship program. But right now I'm going to go to, please tell us about this new program, 4 parts, The Divine Path of Freedom.
Oh, beloved Scott and beloved Eden and beloved sweet family of light, present now and later. This is our heart project. This is a project that is so deep within our heart. And when we first got together, we knew that we would have a couple of years of really building. And because we're world builders, that's what we do. And we're building sanctuaries everywhere. And as we've shared before, sanctuaries aren't built on hope alone.
Yeah, hope and dreams alone.
Hope and dreams. There's, it's physicalization. And we said, for our mission together, one of the most important things that we will do and give to humanity is a fully free path. And we know that a lot of beautiful hearts give free offerings, and then it leads, to something else. This has no lead. This is just free.
It's just a pure heart offering of the highest quality. And, we always give free things. We love to give free. We
are a gifting culture.
Yeah, we love everything. And, the word free, some people think that means no value, but that's not true at all, because,
free of cost.
Free of cost, but there's freedom of the value that's embedded into these divine paths, for example. And so we want to create the 4 divine paths. We started with divine love. It leads into divine service, then divine alchemy and divine wisdom. And these are 3 paths that anyone can do, no matter where you're at on your journey, what social, cultural, economic position that you're in life. But it's just an offering from our hearts to help anyone find that freedom that is your birthright. Freedom is your birthright, and freedom is you, your true self, beyond the mind, beyond the illusion, beyond all of the differentiations, but the true essence. And this program is, our beautiful film crew, they've filmed it in like 4 or 8K, and it's like really.
It's definitely our highest quality.
It's our highest quality program so far. We're actually trying to bring the benchmark of all of our programs to this level. But we just wanted to really just do something that anyone at anywhere at any stage of their development, they could walk a path that isn't a program that you just do and you're finished. It's a contemplation series. It allows you to go inwardly. There's transmissions, there's activations, it's just a gift. It's just a gift, really. And the whole importance of it is that these are the 4 supreme paths that we teach in our community, that are the full embodiment of the divine human, the one that is the expression of divine love, the embodiment of that divine love in selfless service, always here in service to all. That has the knowledge of alchemy, the cultivation of the higher sciences, the esoteric light body, and the inner cauldrons, the inner chalices of what happens with this metamorphosis that this instrument can go through, and how you can literally, rebirth and rejuvenate yourself to something that's,
completely transformative.
Yeah. And then wisdom, that undying truth, that eternal truth, that is the truth that
never changes.
That never changes.
Can never change, will never change, and has never changed. It's
Yeah.
not subjective.
So this is like a 4-fold path to freedom. And it's not so that you find freedom and lead to freedom. You realize the freedom that you are. It's always that, it's not this attainment of I need freedom. It's actually the return to truth that is free, eternal.
So if people haven't done it yet, I want to encourage everyone. We've put the link into our Zoom room chat. into the Unify Facebook page, into Love Coach Academy page. So go to twinray.com/divine paths 2. And again, we're putting that link in, but I'm reading it because a lot of you are on Facebook pages that through the Sign Network that we can't post on. So that's why I'm reading it. That's why you want to come into our Zoom room so you get all this stuff easily. And then go down and put in your name and your email address and access this beautiful path of divine love, path of divine service. Oh, it's taking me to the program. 4 beautiful paths. You don't need to see flipping around. Eden, what do you think of this incredible offering?
I'm excited to do it. I'm excited to dive in there. And it's just so high frequency and resonating with my heart. And I feel so blessed by your generosity. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm excited to dive in.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's micro learning as well. So it's short segments of contemplation that really just takes the pieces so deep into the corners of your heart and the core of your heart, and just starts to really pour it open and peel it open.
And we'll be adding to it as well. This is an ongoing thing. We feel that there's maybe like 3, 4, maybe 5 videos now, but it's an ongoing process that we'll just keep adding to it. So we'll just have incredible content that you can always return to, and eventually we'll have hundreds of videos that
you'll be notified.
That you. But our goal in this is that so you can live in every single moment and experience the miracle of every single moment in life. Whether when you wake up in the morning and you go to bed at night, everything becomes a ritual. You get out of routine and turn into ritual. And you transform mundane into the magic of life.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're so generous. And they're going to be back.
It's just, it's important. It's so important to be able to offer this to the world, to humanity. So important.
Yeah. I see the tears that almost came just now. I want to acknowledge the tears that came when you were praying. The depth of your care for both of you. You both have such tremendous care and commitment to your community. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And don't worry, the TwinRay will be back answering questions. So I have put a few questions into, and by the way, TwinRay, I've sent you a doc in our cell phone text thread that has the questions. So there's a Google Doc where you can see the questions that people are asking.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Take a look.
Right. We love you. We'll see you later.
In a little bit.
Yeah. Scott, I don't know if you noticed that there's a request to please put the link back in the chat box, because we have things kind of flying by. So the one that's for the divine path, there it is again.
Jan just popped it in. Thank you, Jan Kaplan. And thank you, Debbie Johnston, for all that you guys do. It's time for some music. And we are going to go to the wonderful Johanna Beekman. And it looks like you've got some support there, Johanna.
Chad on the drum here, so I can be in time with the track. We're going to sing a song off of my album, Beyond Love. This is Chad Ross. He's toured around the country with me here and there. He pops on a plane and joins me at festivals. We've been to Virginia, we've been to the Midwest, we've been to Bhakti Fest, and we're still playing together. So that's great, we're talking about this Sangha, these communities that we create, this support through spirituality, through love, through divine service, through acts of service. All of these things are principles of Bhakti Yoga. There's so many different paths that express what the TwinRay really has been expressing so eloquently. And it's just really powerful. Also, Eden's story, I really identify with that as a female on this earth. We go through so much that we need to unpack in order to birth our divine, radiant goddess selves, right? Because this society is kind of created to tweak us away from that spirit, that essence, that self. So thank you so much for your transparency and for really eloquently helping us to join on that ship of understanding of what it takes to really awaken right now, because we are going through a huge rebirth as a society, as a culture. And I know I'm here to sing, but I just always have so much to say about what you you all are so inspired to say. We're all in one path to awaken this world. So thank you so much for the inspiration in my own musical and spiritual journey here. And beautiful, beautiful voice. Thank you, Shekinah. Sorry, I get you guys mixed up. You're one, so it's all one. But thank you so much for that beautiful music video, and I look forward to learning more about all of you, because we're all beloveds on this path together. So. This is a song that just really kind of wraps up everything that we were been talking about. Beyond Love, from my Beyond Love album. It goes with my lullaby yoga practice that I share with people to help them heal from the inside out. So the words are: beyond birth, beyond color, beyond shape, beyond doubt. Beyond love is only love. Am I spotlighted, Scott? Because I'm seeing...
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Oh, interesting. Okay, great. Perfect. Thank you so much. And this is a chant from the Sikh tradition. Ajay Ale, if it's in your practice. Beyond birth, beyond color, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond love, is only love, 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 love. Ajay Ale, ape ape, apu aju, anasaka sakanja panch, alakabaka akadaya, alakabaka anamakam, aga adanate pramate, ajoni amoni, narage narange narupe nareke, akarman aparman akanje aleke. Beyond birth, beyond color, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond love, beyond love, beyond love is only love, only love, love, love. Ape, ape, apu haju, anasaka sakanja panch, alakabaka akadaya, alakabaka anamakam, agadanate pramate, ajoni amoni, narage narange narupe nareke, akarman aparman ganje aleke. Beyond birth, beyond color, beyond shape, Brahmate Joni Amoni Narange Narange Narupe Nareke Akarman Barman Aganje Alege Anamakam Agayada Nate Brahmate Joni Amoni Narange Narange Narupe Nareke Akarman Barman Aganje Alege beyond birth, beyond color, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond shape, beyond doubt, beyond love, beyond love, beyond love is only love, beyond love is only love, only love, 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 love.
So beautiful. Wow. What a night of love. Such a beautiful night of love that everybody is providing. And of course, I always want to encourage our audience to support our artists. You know, Johanna is one of the real queens of the festival circuit, but we haven't been having festivals for the last 2 years.
Online church service circuit.
Which has been to our benefit, and you know that's why you're one of our favorites on.
I'm on Unity Center, New York City this Sunday. If anyone wants to tune in, actually, it'll be East Coast, so it's before your Sacred Sunday show. You guys can pop on
Put
there.
that link in, and I'll pull it up. So put the link in the Zoom room.
Yeah, I have my mailer here. I'll grab it out of there and put it in there.
But in the meanwhile, I just want to direct everybody to what you're seeing on screen,
Yes.
which is her website. Johanna sings, and yes, she does. And there's a lot of wonderful offerings here. Her lullaby yoga, I love that. It's pulling up right now. 5 days. It's a beautiful offering, and of course, all of her albums. I always like to talk about her mantra sangha. If you have not watched it, it's extraordinary what she put together. Artists from all over the world. I think it was like, 30 artists that you had, dancers, people in India.
Yep.
And it's
Nepal.
a powerful, powerful piece. So anyway, it's all at johannasings.com. And Johanna, and while the show's been on, my editor sent me the video of your song with Joss, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So if we have time, I'm going to play it tonight, and everybody will see it. We'll do a little premiere a little bit later on. So
That sounds lovely.
it's going to be fun. All right. And the show goes on. We have something really special for you next. So here we go. Boy, tonight certainly is the night of one love, isn't it? So it is time for our Global Peace Tribe announcements, and I'm going to bring on a friend of mine. He's a new friend that I've gotten to know over the last year and a half during the pandemic. You've seen him on our shows before, and this is Ben Bowler coming to us from Australia. Hello, Ben. Welcome.
Hello, Scott. Hello, greetings to the whole Peace Tribe family around the world from a very, very warm summer's day here in Melbourne, Australia. It's close to 100 degrees here, but it's great to be with you all and see all the beauty and the love and the music and the compassion here tonight. Congratulations, Scott, to you and the team.
Oh, it's fantastic. I was teasing him because I know it's hot. I said, all right, Ben, now you can't wear a T-shirt, you know.
Got a collar.
Hey, Ben, tell us all about, and I'm pulling up the poster, tell us about what's coming up next week.
Yeah, this is really exciting, Scott. Unity Earth, as some may know, has been on a pretty epic journey over the last 5 or 6 years, connecting spiritual communities all over the world, indigenous, spiritual, religious, peacemakers, activists, artists, musicians, change makers right across the world. And we built up for many years on what we call the Road to 2020 with this global series of events. And then in the middle of 2020, for the first time, we convened the first World Unity Week with the Sign Network and hundreds and hundreds of co-convening organizations. And of course, Scott, we did it again last year with great support from you and Deborah and so many others all over the world. And we're getting ready now as we get properly into 2022 to bring a lot of these change makers, grassroots organizations, leaders, spiritual leaders, musicians together to really take a deep dive into what's cooking this year and some of the beautiful collaborations, some of the incredible synergies that are alive in the whole field for unity and peace. Now, some of you might have remembered in World Unity Week last year, we had the amazing Jean Houston close the whole week with one of the most epic addresses any of us have ever seen. And I'm delighted that Jean's going to be back with us in a few days for the Unity Earth Symposium, specifically for the January Assembly for World Unity Week, Scott. And World Unity Week is an all-in, self-organizing field that we all do together around the mid-year solstice, which is summer in the north, winter here in the south. And again, hundreds and hundreds of global organizations. It's International Day of Yoga, it's World Refugee Day. As I said, it's the solstice and many other things. So we're taking a dive on Tuesday and Wednesday, the 25th, 26th of January from 4 p.m. Eastern time. Lots of legendary peacemakers here. Audrey Kitagawa, Sister Jenna, many of your, Dr. Mindahi Bastide has been with you on the show. People like Dr. Kurt Johnson, Jonathan Granoff. Of course, our beloved Kristen Hoffman, who's such an important part of the Global Peace Tribe, Scott, as well. And many, many, many more, including John Raymer from the Sign Network and Adil Kassam from Unify. So obviously we're all part of one big family here, right? But this is an opportunity to come together. We're taking a deep dive into Purpose Earth, which is a grant-making body. She's given away $300,000 in its first year and a half to grassroots global organizations working on consciousness, environmental issues all over the world. And then what Jean Houston is going to be then taking us on a journey with some of the other key people into the World Unity Week Assembly. And we really love everybody to connect with this. We'll get the links in the chat and the chat here. You can just go to unity.earth and it's in the header. We'll take you through to all the information that you need to know. One thing I do want to share too, Scott, I'm very excited about this. Like a lot of the evolutionary leaders, which is an organization which many of the members of the ELs have been on your show and guests on your show. People like Bruce Lipton and Deepak Chopra and many, many others. But the evolutionary leaders are launching a brand new synergy circle, and we're launching it at the symposium, and it's a synergy circle for unity and peace. And it's an open circle. We want everybody around the world to join together in this synergy circle. How can we better organize? As Martin Luther King said, those who love peace need to learn to organize effectively as those who love war. Well, this is a sincere effort to bring so many different groups into that field. And we're launching the Unity and Peace Synergy Circle on Wednesday, the 26th of January. Invite everybody to come. Plus, we're going to be talking about Peace Week 2022. So lots of very, very exciting things, lots of amazing people. We'd love you to come and enjoy the incredible presentations and music, and even more importantly, participate in the breakouts, get engaged, Share your gifts and visions and inspirations, and let's do this together. Let's really, bring this planet home together. This year, we're taking great strides, and we look forward to welcoming you to the Unity Earth Symposium next week.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ben, for the great work that you do. And I've put the links into the chat box, and we'll get those out to everybody on Facebook. And again, remember, if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, there's still plenty of time. Come on in. We've got another 45 minutes of our main show, and then we've got a great after show to share with you. So come on in. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com and register. And I saw a lot of you have registered and come in. So welcome all of our new Global Peace Tribe friends. I've got a few more announcements that I want to make of upcoming things that is really cool. Ben mentioned, of course, beloved Kristen Hoffman. You heard her. She did our opening to our new song, our new opening bumper. And she and Cornflower met through Saturday Night Alive. And Kristen's kind of like the queen of looping, and Cornflower's kind of the king of looping. And they met each other, and they now, once every 3 months, do a program together, sponsored, of course, by the Global Peace Tribe. And they're doing a universal love concert on Valentine's night. So whether you are single or in a coupleship, a beautiful night, a beautiful way to celebrate Valentine's is to go deep into love through the music of these amazing beings. So really want to invite all of you to consider joining us. And once again, Debbie's putting the links. You can register at sonicsourceactivation.com. And we'll have Kristen and Cornflower on this show over the next couple weeks as musicians prior to that performance. I also want to invite everybody to something that's happening a week from Monday. Christy Michaels, who I collaborated with frequently, we just did the January 6th event, has a beautiful event, The Birth and Rise of the Divine Feminine. That's going to be from 6 till 9 p.m. Pacific time, and that's on Monday, January 31st. And, we're seeing the rise of the Divine Feminine so beautifully tonight with Amadora and ShekinahMa, two incredible embodiments of the Divine Feminine in human form. And I think we all, I can say this, as a white man who's been privileged in my life, it's time to turn it over to the grandmothers. It's time to turn it over to the women. We men, we had our chance for the last few thousand years, and we did not do a very good job. So I am grateful for the rise of the Divine Feminine. And of course, the Divine Feminine really lives inside all of us, despite our gender. But it is really time for the wisdom of the Divine Feminine to lead our world, to lead this planet. And so, may it be so. Yeah. I want to also just encourage everybody to come to our Sacred Sunday show tomorrow. I mentioned this in the early show. It's going to be kind of the wrap-up of this beautiful Awakening World weekend. Last night we had a beautiful event with Deb Moldow and Jimmy Twyman, and of course, beautiful Eden and myself. Tomorrow, Eden and I are going to wrap it up with two more powerhouse guests. Nierka, who's incredible. She was Tony Robbins' right-hand person for 5 years, and she is so powerful and passionate, and beautiful, beloved Astarius, quite a lovely brother. The four of us are going to offer tools, and again, it's a Zoom meeting, so we can see you. You can come on in and put on your cameras if you wish and interact with us directly. We'll be taking questions. And if you want to just watch, that's okay too. And of course, all of our shows are carried on Facebook. And I want to thank Unify, now carrying Friday night and tonight, and our Sunday show. So it's beautiful to be on Unify 3 times a week. And again, thank you to the Sign Network. They get us out to so many people. John and Summer Raymer, we love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I now get to turn it back over to my beautiful co-host, and I'm seeing in the chat box, so many people are falling in love with you, Eden. You have a lot of wonderful new fans and friends. And so this is kind of your time to share a little bit more. Did you want to start with that video?
I want to say a little something before the video, and I'm definitely in love with all of you, literally in this like high frequency, grateful, open heart space. I'm just vibrating over here. So it's such an honor to share this love with everyone. And I think some of the themes they're repeating in such a beautiful way. Joanna's song and this only love, and only love is real. I even have it tattooed on my arm. It's in white, so you can't see it. It says love, only love, lest I ever forget. And I feel into this truth that love knows no opposite. And when our beloved in Melbourne, I think his name's Ben, and they're going through so much in Australia, we're all going through so much globally. And I feel how his spirit is so strong, and this call to unify and for unity. And when I feel into what that is for me, it's honoring multiplicity, it's honoring dazzling diversity, and it's recognizing wholeness and oneness and divinity in everyone. And in my own life, I know Scott just made such a plug for the divine feminine. I just want to say that in a wild way, I went through 13 years of divine feminine mystery school training to come into an initiation known as the inner marriage, which is really about recognizing that we're all both. We're both divine feminine and divine masculine essence entwined, and that makes up the entire manifest universe. And in my own journey, I had some confusion about this. There was this wave we all went through collectively with the Me Too movement, where we were really outing and naming how kind of messed up, I was going to use a bad word, but we'll just say messed up the masculine is on the planet. And there was so much anger and so much hurt that needed to be heard to be healed. And in my own awakening path, I recognized these places in myself that didn't trust God, the masculine father God. I felt like I was held in the lap of the Divine Mother in this deep path of my own spiritual community. And in a way, there was an imbalance that happened. And the reason I'm saying all this before this next offering of a video is that I experienced another mini dark night of the soul about 4 years ago after a heartbreak, where I felt like I had met my divine union match. I felt like this being and I were meant to be together in some kind of very high spiritual mission, and it wasn't meant to be that easy for me. And it was a mirror of the places I was still projecting my own inner divinity outward onto another and making them the source of my happiness, my joy, the meaning of my life. And there was a quote by Jean Houston that I wish I had pulled up because she was named earlier, that was from her book In Search of the Beloved, about betrayal. And she said that it is only when there is a deep merging, a deep flowing together in such a soulful way, and there is a betrayal of sorts, a loss of innocence, a fall from grace, that we are then ushered into true forgiveness and the true miracle of divine love from that space. If you can forgive there, then you are free. And so my own initiation into the inner marriage happened when I was the most devastated I've ever been around human love and human relationship. And I was churning and burning and confused and hurt and feeling victimized for 3 days during the Me Too movement, when the collective feminine angst and upset at the masculine was at a fever pitch. And in that time, I felt righteously angry at this being who I had thought of as my divine beloved for this apparent betrayal. And I remember not sleeping again and sweating through my sheets and thinking, oh no, this is like my Saturn return, but it's so different. It's so dark in this strange way, where I was invited to touch the sticky tar in the core of my own root chakra that was like fight and flight and kill you before you kill me energy that's embedded in us collectively. And I had been in denial about that even being in me. I had thought, oh no, I've been in great high frequency spaces and places, and I know compassion. That being said, in that moment, I was meant to touch this darkness that could have been even collective, but my own was bound up in it. And on the third night of not sleeping, I started to pray, not to the Divine Mother. I prayed to the Divine Father, which was very rare for me. After 13 years of Divine Mother is the all and encompassing love. And I said, if you are real, if you are even real, why do you let us suffer so much? And there was such passion to my pleading to be shown something. And I said, God, if you're real, pull me through this keyhole, show me what I need to see so I can release this pain and this anger. And grace happened. And this is a miracle for me. I was shown myself. I was shown all the things I was blaming and raging and pointing the finger at the men and the government and the patriarchy and the beloved who was now the enemy who had broken my heart. I was shown places in my own life where I had been misaligned and out of integrity, and where my energy had hurt and harmed others in a more self-absorbed way or selfish way or just unconscious way, the ways I had damaged relationships. I was shown myself. I was shown what we might call a more toxic yang energy that had played through my life, where I felt superior, where I controlled, where I suppressed, what I didn't hold with compassion and empathy and kindness. I was shown back through my life. It was like a kamaloka. That's a Buddhist word for life review, but I was still alive. And as I saw myself, I realized, oh my God, there is no one to blame. There is no other. There is no enemy. These energies were playing through me unconsciously, just as I blamed and shamed and judged others. And when I saw that, I forgave myself and I let myself off the cross, so to speak. I really saw I'm innocent underneath. It's all about awakening and seeing and choosing differently and learning. And I forgave my ex. I forgave many relationships that I had judged and blamed the others. And in that moment, there was grace. And I remember telling Scott this story. We were eating Thai food together. He says, that's a good story. You should tell this story. As soon as I forgave everything, I saw a light in my dark room above my head. My eyes were open, but I couldn't make out much in the room. And this bright light started to descend over me. And I thought, is this an angel? But it wasn't. It was a branch. It was a branch with soft, damp, cool leaves that brushed over my crown and down like being smudged. And it smelled like lemon, like a Meyer lemon tree branch. And as it brushed through me, I could see the inside cells of the leaves like an X-ray. And it was in me and I was in it. And it cleared through my entire body. And when it brushed over the soles of my feet, I exploded into gold light. And it was like in my heart and solar plexus, and I was in it. And there was no separation. In that moment, I felt the Divine Father's love. I felt this very masculine presence. And I started to cry and laugh at the same time. And I said, how could I have been questioning if you're real? You're the light. You're everything. You're everywhere. Of course you're real. And it just shook me to the core, this connection of love and light in that moment. This then released me into sleep and dream, which I won't go into now because it's too long to share the dream. I'll just say that this sense of bliss lasted for 3 days. All I wanted to do was play my flute for God and dance and sing. And when I went to the grocery store, I would look at the rainbow chart and start crying because I couldn't believe how beautiful this vegetable that we all get to eat, and the colors, everything was so miraculous, incredible. We are so blessed. And so I offer this story of my own coming home into the beloved within, into this recognition that there's no separation. And if you want to play the video now, I would say that this video came through me much like these songs we hear, where you don't write them down first, you don't need to figure it out. It was just a transmission that I was blessed to be a conduit for in that moment. And if it serves your journey, that is a great gift. This is love, only love.
Love. Only love. Love. Only love. Love. Only love. We have received the transmission, heard the mythic call. We have come across the vast sea in service to true love. The activation has begun. We have no choice now but to burn brighter, to illuminate and inspire. Love, only love. We have come to transmit a frequency of unconditional love, to transmute the collective shadow through personal alchemy. With compassion, we raise the planetary vibration, high frequency magnetic coherency attractors. We resound, sound the sacred sound, remembrance brings the light down to open the portal, heaven on earth. Open, 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 open. Awaken each and every heart. Awaken, soul stars, awaken, and remember who you truly are. The awakening has done through the emissaries of divine love. The awakening has begun. The portal is open.
Wow. The awakening has begun. Absolutely. Your presentation and then that video, it all is so perfect for this evening that's evolving in such a beautiful way. I want to invite everybody to do something really fun that Eden has created for us. Eden, first off, go to her website. It's her name, Eden Amadora, EdenAmadora.com, EdenAmadora.com. And that's where you can find all sorts of wonderful things about Eden. But what you absolutely, positively want to do, just scroll down a teeny bit and you'll see Discover Your Beloved Archetype. And you take this quiz. And it's a really fun quiz. I've taken it, my roommates, my friends have taken it. And of course, then you get back this response about what kind of archetype you are. And there's all sorts of really wonderful options. And it's really, really fun. And it's a wonderful way to start your online connection with Eden. And so thank you for that gift. And thank you for the gift of your presence. I'm just so touched.
You're so welcome. It's such an honor to share and be here in this amazing community. I'm so grateful.
You're going to have to add to the beloved archetypes the TwinRay archetype. So if they take the quiz, they'll get their archetype. There they are. Thank you so much. We've got more Eden coming. We've got more TwinRay coming. And right now, we've got more music coming. It is time to drop in and enjoy Joss Jaffe. Hey, Joss, are you enjoying the show?
Absolutely. This is so blissful and beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you for being such a wonderful part of it. And what do you got for us today?
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, so I had a particular song that I was going to play, but then when I looked at the theme for the show and listening to what the speakers were saying, I knew exactly what song I had to sing. So here it goes. You're probably going to recognize it a little bit, but there's some special tweaks specifically for tonight. Let's get together and awaken love and witness the miracles that come every day. Compassion for those who struggle and suffer. Bring this whole world into a bright new day. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. Enlightened people with compassionate thoughts. There is one question I'd really love to ask. Is there a place for universal love to take this whole world higher above? One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. One love, one heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel all right. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Josh, that is
Hey, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Haribol, so
Haribol.
beautiful, so filled.
well, as you can see, you brought everybody together in a beautiful way there, Joss.
Thank you, Scott. Sometimes the spirit moves and you have to let it go. And I knew that song would be perfect for tonight. You even said several times in the event, one love, one heart. So that just felt like the perfect moment. And I want to give a shout out to my soul sister, Johanna Beekman, who we've played so many concerts together. And thank you for bringing me in on the All You Need Is Love project. And it's just been such a wonderful night tonight. So thank you to all the presenters and everyone sending us love in the chat here. Feels so good.
Well, while you guys are here, let's take a look. Two things. I want to show where people can get more Josh Jaffe. Fan.to, and that's where he lives. And we're putting that link into the chat box. And you're everywhere. Bandcamp, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube, Deezer, Amazon Music. You're a popular guy.
Well, you have to be everywhere at one time. And this is a new song called Free Float. And it's the most relaxing song I've ever made in my entire life. We call it Drifting Off into Samadhi. And it's played with Jim Chemo West, who would be a great person to have on this show. He just won the Grammy for New Age for his beautiful Hawaiian slack key guitar playing. And it's the two of us together. And it's just this blissful float away song called Free Float. So I really hope you take a listen to it. It's perfect for relaxation.
Beautiful. Well, I'm going to play it and maybe we'll pop it on. Now, while you both are still here, I'm going to take a little risk. I have not seen this video. I saw what you guys provided. I sent it to my editor. My editor in the Philippines put something together. So we're going to take a look at it together. This is a kind of a little bit of a premiere of your amazing version of Do It All With Love. So let's take a look at how it turned out.
Love, 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 love. Love is everything. Love is everything. Love, 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 love. Love, love, love. Love, 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 love. Love, love, love. Oh, oh, oh. Nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Do everything with love. Do everything with love. Do everything with love. Love. Love is everything. Nothing you can make that can't be made. Nothing you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. Yeah. Do everything with love. Do everything with love. Do everything with love. Love. Love is everything. Love is everything. Love is everything. Yeah. Love is everything. Love is everything.
Hey, I think that turned out pretty doggone good, yeah?
Not bad for pretty much live, but not live. And
Yeah.
you know how we do. Thank you so much for that opportunity. You had the brain baby. You had this thought to have this creation come forth. So thanks
You
for
know,
orchestrating
honestly, it
that.
started in an inspired conversation with the TwinRay. I'll add them to our group here. We were talking about doing everything with love, and I just we got to make a song out of it. If we're going to make a song out of it, we'll have Johanna, and then we've got to show all of our presenters from Global Peace Tribe. So it's definitely going to be something that we will show quite often. Thank you, Johanna. Thank you, Joss, for your amazing contributions and for following my crazy brainstorm to do something with everything you need with love. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joss.
Ah,
Thank you,
well,
Scott. Twin Rays. Oh.
TwinRay, singular.
Twin
It took me a while.
Ray. I've got it now.
TwinRay. One
One
TwinRay.
heart.
One heart. Two bodies, two beautiful bodies. Well, we are going to be done by 8:30 because we've got a great after show. And to give you a little taste of that, I now want to show the promo video. This is for the after show, which is going to be starting in 15 minutes.
Do you really know The after show. The after show. The after, after, after.
So stick around, that starts in 14 minutes. Now, I want to acknowledge that I was planning on showing a video that I recorded with Marianne Williamson talking about miracles. And just before the start of the show, I had a little technical challenge. And to be honest, I'm not going to be able to show that. But I will show it tomorrow morning during our Secret Sunday show. But we've had so much upliftment from the TwinRay. We've only got 13 minutes left, and we're still going to have a musical number from Omashar. But I do want to bring the TwinRay on one more time just to answer a couple of Q&A. There they are. Hello, beautiful ones.
Hello, beloved.
We've only got about 7 minutes for questions and answers. Show ran a little longer, but thank you so much. It's been amazing. Did you see the questions that we sent by Google Doc to you, or I can read it to you?
Yeah, maybe you read it. I don't believe we got it.
Okay. Well, first one is Wanda from Texas, was wanting to know more about surrender, the power of surrender. And I'll tell you the two questions that we definitely want to answer. There's that one, and then from George Noble, is Shiva sort of like Pluto in transformative abilities? So if we could cover those two questions in like 6 minutes, that would be cool.
Perfect.
Let's talk about surrender for a moment. The fullness of surrender is likened to grace that moves through you in a way that you cannot resist. You cannot control. You cannot do anything but open yourself completely and soften your body and allow divine will to take you. And when divine will takes you, you must then trust that in its infinite ability and its omniscience and omnipresence and omnibenevolence, that it will take you exactly where you need to go. And so the process of surrendering is to trust 100% that what you're surrendering to is going to be unimaginably more amazing than anything you could have even conjured up as a possibility. So you can feel grace within you in all moments. Grace does not come without surrender.
And the two main principles of the masculine, the divine masculine and the divine feminine in unison is that trust and surrender. They aren't separate. The teaching of the masculine is to surrender to the feminine, and the teaching of the feminine is to trust the masculine, to be held in that process and supported in that process. And so that trust and surrender is in tangent. And what happens is when your heart and your mind surrenders to your heart, and your heart trusts in the higher mind, the Bodhi mind, there's a unison that can take place, and then the mind becomes satiated, and there's this effortless surrender into the absolute, the absorption into the absolute. And it's not that you are absorbed into God, or you are absorbed into that source. It's that's the source, the truth becomes unveiled and revealed without the mind.
And here there are no questions.
Yeah, well, there is no mind.
There is no mind by which to question or answer. It is empty presence that fills you completely, fills you so high you float above the clouds, but not in an intangible way, in a way where you are present for life in every moment and whatever it is. You are surrendered to that outcome, and you are surrendered to know that you are being carried gently and gingerly to exactly where you need to go. And if your soul's path is one that has certain lessons, those lessons will be learned. Ask for your lessons to be graceful and gentle, and surrender to that.
And the funny thing is, you can't not surrender. You know, that's the funny thing. Is like, well, how do you surrender? Well, guess what? You don't have a choice in the matter. So that's, you have to really trust the process, and no matter how intense it is, but you don't have a choice. You know, you really don't. So it is inbuilt into you as you just know that and trust that. And the second question, beloved George Noble, dear beloved George, yes, you can understand the transformative nature of Pluto, the lord of the underworld or the lord of the unconscious, as that Shiva principle. But Shiva is also the formless divinity. Shiva is that eternal formless nature, that
it's
pure
amorphous.
Yeah, and so there is that quality, yes. How it's probably understood in the east to the bridge to the west, you could associate that, and you could associate a whole myriad of many different archetypal expressions of that rebirthing, destructive, transformative, powerful, alchemical expression into the primordial real and into primordial truth. And so yes, there is a parallel there, and
yes,
that is what the governing expression of this year is all about, that rebirth, that transformation, that the Pluto return to really allow all to surrender into the rebirth of this world.
Beautiful. I also want to ask you to tell us just a little bit, give us a little bit of a taste about your Miracle Mentorship program that's coming up. Please tell us about that.
Okay, well, in lieu of the transformative year of 2022, the Master Builder year that it is, and in honoring of it, we've done something that we haven't done before, but we've created a container for a year-long mentorship that honors the 13 different moons, the cycles of the moon, and the 8 solar portals, and then the 4 harmony times, the equinoxes and solstice points, to teach people how to really come into a life of ritual and to manifest their divinity. And it also gives us time to come together in intimate space to really have your questions answered and support you in that intimate container, and then really teach you all that one wishes to know.
We've called it Tea Time with the TwinRay because we wanted it to feel like a really beautiful sit-down, intimate connection together in a group container where we will answer your personal questions that you need an oracle to answer, questions that of your childhood, questions of why this happened in your life, anything that you would like that's been burning inside of you. We're here for this year specifically because we know what happens for 2022. And we're going to be working with herbalism and the magic of that, and really creating a very ritualized container. So from routine to the magic of ritual. So you start your month with us in a very high vibrational container with different things to postulate over, and these things, and as our transmissions will be, it will infuse your entire month. And then we're going to be connecting that again with the solar portals and the lunar portals and the harmony times, and it's going to be a complete infusion held in our sacred womb space, essentially.
And also teach you, like, you know, all the things that we do, how we live our life, basically, like, you know, the preparation of all the different aspects of the mundane life into creating a magical life, and how we live our life. We want to share that with beloved. So yeah, it's an opportunity to really be part of our community, be held by a community, and then have live interaction with the community, and just,
I'm going to tell you which teas to drink every month and what brews to make, and we're all going to do it together, and it's just going to be a really wonderful experience that we'll really enjoy to have with all of you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that sounds so wonderful. Well, we look forward to playing. I'm bringing on my co-host Eden. We're going to turn it over to Omashar in a moment to do a musical transition to the after show. But Eden, I wanted to give you a chance. First of all, thank you for sharing both of your stories tonight. I've seen in the chat box, people have just been so touched. And of course, the TwinRay also were touched by your story. And any final thoughts you'd like to share before we move on for the night?
There's just only this overflowing gratitude right now. There's not a lot of thinking going on. It's just this effulgent thank you. Thank you to the TwinRay. Thank you to you, Scott, to our incredible musicians. Every song was just beautiful, and just feeling the love in the chat bar, and just how much we are feeling connected in this time that might feel very disconnected and isolating for so many. This is such a gift. It's so precious. I'm so grateful for the positive use of technology in this way, and for our saying yes to coming together. So that's all I really have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Eden. Looking forward to being with you tomorrow morning. Thank you, beloved TwinRay. Look forward to our next connection. I want to give a couple more thanks as well. I want to thank Dr. and Mrs. also known as Alan and Son, for creating the amazing video that you guys saw at the beginning of the show, which I'm really proud of. And I have been looking for Alan Steinfeld. There he is. I want to very quickly just acknowledge it's Alan's birthday. Happy birthday, Alan.
Well, the most important thing is what we're doing next week, Scott.
That's right. That's right.
Have you talked about it at all?
No, I was waiting for you to be with us. So
well, I'm here. I just got back from celebrating my birthday with good friends here in Florida.
Happy birthday, Alan. Thank you for incarnating on Earth. We're really happy to be here with you.
It is a great place to incarnate. I know it is. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Missy. Good to hear your voice.
Alan is my co-host and my collaborating partner. For next week, all weekend, the Awakening World is tackling Making Contact Update. Of course, Alan literally wrote the book, Making Contact. He literally wrote the book. And we're going to give you an update on disclosure, integration, and transmutation. And boy, do we have, it's an abundance of riches. We've got Elizabeth April, Whitley Strieber, Celestine Starr, Omashar is going to come back and play music. Neil Gar, Marina,
JJ and Desiree Hertog, and
Elizabeth Sartoris. It goes on and on. And
even Roscoe, Marina Sarin, 21-year-old starseed hybrid awakened. Right? What did you think of her?
She's amazing. Marina Sarin just blew me away. She's 21 years old, and she's clearly, you're talking to a hybrid. You're talking to somebody who's part human and part ET. And we're even going to have a Deborah Giusti sighting next Saturday night.
Oh, great. So it's levels. We start off Friday with the government, the external. We go deeper into the integration of the experience with ETs. And finally, we go into the transmutation, how we are merging with the greater cosmic cultures. So it's levels and levels of higher consciousness integration, which this show is about. So.
Amazing. Thank you, Alan, for bringing it together. We're running late.
I know.
So I've got to move forward. Omashar is going to give us a full musical experience next week, but I do want to introduce him to do a transition. There he is. He's about to make his debut here. He's been coming as a participant, and then he turned me on to his music. And Omashar, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for being with us.
No, Patience, it's been such a blessing to be here tonight. I'm just so full. And I have a short song. It's called Breathe Me In from my album Shine On. And it's just going to take us a little deeper before we go into the after show. And I'm really looking forward to the after show because I love the Rainbow Girls and all of the other stars on that show that I'm getting to know. So without further ado, you'll just go for it, yeah?
Go for it.
So, okay, this is a prayer, and it's from the divine feminine to the divine feminine within each of us. And let's see how it goes. Love you. Deep breath. When there's nowhere left to turn, and you're feeling kind of low, slow down, and breathe me in. When the smile has left your face, and the tears roll down your cheeks, slow down, and breathe me in. When your river's running dry, and you're driven to your knees, slow down, and breathe me in. I am watching you, waiting for you to let my love into that lonely life of yours. Listen to me, and we can be together free eternally. La 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 la.
and you need someone to hold. Slow down, slow down, and breathe me in. Slow down, slow down, and breathe me
Thank you so much, Omashar. Wow. People are already saying, what a wonderful addition to the Global Peace Tribe. And that is absolutely true. And you can get
you so much.
Omashar music by going to omashar.com. Omashar.com.
Oh, there I am.
There you are. There you are. And we will see Omashar next week as part of our wonderful weekend of Making Contact update.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste.
We'll see you next week. All right. It is almost time for the after.